I'm here to give you a brief teaser of a report that I've worked on for the last couple of months. And this report analyzes the state of justice in Yemen at the moment. The key message of the report is that the inadequate supply and quality of justice in Yemen has left a large number of disputes unresolved. A number of these disputes have turned into grievances, and some of those grievances have turned violent. And this violence today stimulates further radicalization and sectarian profiling. What is really interesting is that this has in part been the result of a conscious effort by Yemen's ruling elites to marginalize and co-opt the legal mechanisms that could have been used to challenge their rule. There are several elements to this story. The first is that the state judiciary has gradually become, shall we say, an extension of the ruling elite over these past 20 years. And one of the ways through which this was achieved was the establishment of executive control over the Supreme Judicial Council. It basically means that judicial independence in Yemen is largely a fiction. The second part of this story is about tribal customary law, which is the legal mechanism of choice of most Yemenis. It's estimated that 70 to 80% of all disputes are resolved through the use of this system. Now, tribal customary law is subject to an increasing number of constraints or restraints at the moment. For example, sheikhs, who are impartial arbiters or judges, if you want, in this system, have accumulated business interests over the past decades, and this creates conflicts of interest in their ability or their neutrality with which they can adjudicate disputes. The third element of this story is about social justice. So what we have seen over the past decade is that the level of social justice in Yemen has decreased significantly as a result of the self-centered and exclusive practices of Yemen's ruling elites. And Yemen's current conflicts in the north, in the south, and related to Al-Qaeda must in part be seen as manifestations of popular discontent with this rising level of social injustice. So all of this suggests that Yemen's state of justice must be improved to break these cycles through which grievances accumulate and ultimately violence erupts. That is, if the aim is to put Yemen on a more forward-looking footing and to improve the quality of its governance. So at the moment, of course, Syria and South Sudan consume all the attention, but they also show that it becomes much more difficult to resolve a conflict once it has erupted. For Yemen, that may still a possibility, but it requires strong and rapid reaction or action by the international community to prevent such a scenario. So one of the key actions that the international community can take, especially now that Yemen's national dialogue process has concluded and delivered a set of results that can be implemented, is to present a much stronger and forceful face through the UN Security Council and create pressure for change, for positive change, that can set the scene for improvements in Yemen's judiciary. It's also critical that the mission of the UN Special Envoy is prolonged, that it's adequately resourced, and that is strongly supported locally at the political level in Sana'a. So in many ways the hard work has just begun. For more, of course, I'd recommend you to read the full report, and you can find it on our site, www.clingendael.nl. Thanks.